So it's now 12 Eastern. We're starting this webinar formally. I want to reintroduce myself. My name is Jennifer Witt, and I'm Director of ProjectManager.com. So thank you again. We have a great crowd of people joining us. This is a hot, interesting topic that we're coming into the year with. You know, the things have changed so much over the last, I would say, 5 years, not only just in our economy, but within project management. So as you plan for 2012, we're submitting to use these project management trends that we're going to be talking about today to guide your project initiatives, and join us to glean some of the insights that we've learned not only from our community but the other corporate clients that we're working with in implementing ProjectManager.com into their organizations, and offering you some best practices that you can leverage out there for the new project era. So again, project management has been through a transition over the past 5 years, and adapting to the arrival of social media and project management maturing to become a key distinguishing factor for project managers. So over the past couple of years, I know that many organizations, even project managers themselves, have questioned what value is learning project management, what value is it implementing project management into my organization. And for those of you who are working on your certification, you've asked, you know, what good is that, or what value? So I believe we're seeing today more than ever, organizations are embracing social media, and collaboration still remains one of the most effective tools for project success and shareholder engagement. So today we're going to delve into the trends that will help you as project managers generate actionable results, and that's what our stakeholders and our customers are looking for. So we're to generate actionable results for their projects in 2012. So that's just a highlight. Again, some housekeeping items for those. I see people are still joining the call. So to repeat some of the housekeeping items, use the right-hand panel of your screen. You'll see there a panel there where you can ask questions. We have Tom Kellen in the background answering those questions. For those of you who may not can hear, you're asking if this is going to be recorded. For those of you who are Twitter, like to tweet, we have our project handle @ProjectTips, so you can share anything from this call with your other project management colleagues. We all learn by sharing, so that's one way that people we know in the project management community today share tips. So it's @ProjectTips, and for those who have hashtags, it's #ProjectManager. So a little bit about myself. Again, this is I'm Jennifer Witt. I'm a student of projects and teams, and I've been, over the years, I've been studying how we screw up projects and how we fix them. How are some project managers really productive and some aren't? And you'll see this all the time. How your peers get promoted, and you may ask, how do they get the more interesting projects, and what are they doing to get more leads and more projects and do more of the interesting things coming along? And working with members of the ProjectManager.com community, I see people with amazing credentials, and beyond their technical competencies, what I can see is their ability to keep their teams motivated and get things done. And with that, that's what I personally believe, and we at ProjectManager.com believes, helps us to distinguish ourselves and get those projects. I've been blessed to be part of pioneering some leading-edge technologies in the project management space, including social media and mobile learning, specifically here at ProjectManager.com. So we've been doing a lot of homework over the past couple of months and compiling all of this to bring it to you. So in today's webinar, what we want to talk about is we're just going to jump right in instead of waiting to the end. You know, the end of some webinars where people save everything to the end. We're going to jump right in, and we're going to start by sharing the top project management trends for 2012. And we're sharing, again, what we're seeing in our global community of over 500,000 project managers within the ProjectManager.com community. We're going to provide a roadmap, and we're going to be asking, what are you doing to mobilize quickly? What are you doing to socialize intently? And what are you doing to globalize strategically? And more importantly, we're finding with the members of the community, and again, the clients who have implemented projectmanager.com working with us, they're looking to simplify. So we're asking, what are you doing to simplify things? We're going to be talking about a concept of SOMO, a SOMO-centric high-performance project team. So you may can glean SOMO meaning social and mobile. So what does a social, mobile-centric high-performance project management environment look like? We're going to talk a little bit about how to build the high-performance project teams and competencies for individuals. And this is what attracts interesting people and interesting work. The social, mobile, and getting results, getting things done. We believe we're seeing a new norm, and that's evolving, not only, again, through the globalization of the economy, but also new technologies, and just a dire need for innovation of a new way of doing things. So a new norm is forming, and we're asking, what's holding you back from embracing and adopting these concepts? We all can talk about it, and there's so much fear around some of the technologies and what's next. And we see over and over again with the word trend. So if you look up the word trend, it means how things are trending, evolving, changing. If you think of the market trends and even fashion, right? So we see new norms happening. So as we're working with people in our community, we're beginning to see what's holding people back from doing interesting work and getting promoted, and more importantly, getting things done. We're going to be showing a next step of how you can adopt some of the things that we've brought to the table. We've worked really hard with projectmanager.com and aligning what we're finding these trends to be and how to offer a high-performance project environment in adopting these new norms. So we've pulled it all together, and we're showing you an easy way to take a next step and adopt these with us and join our community. So with our last release of projectmanager.com, we've incorporated these new norms and made things simple. So let's delve right into what we believe. There's always 10, right? People want to make 10. So people like the number 10, so we came up with what we found to be the top 10 project management trends of 2012. So number one, you see it all the time. I mean, you are in companies, you're trying to penetrate companies. Those who are driving for market share, they're looking to gain market share. You can definitely see that. We all use some of the technologies like Google and the Facebook and LinkedIn. They're all trying to expand their market share. People are looking to expand new product lines. There are, in every going backwards. In every industry, they're looking for new product lines. In the insurance business, because of how things have evolved, they're looking at what new product lines can we offer our clients in the healthcare. Again, new product lines, technology for sure. The construction industry, all industries we've looked at are looking at how they're doing things and how to roll out new product lines. And you can see every day business innovations, so all of these will continue to increase. Number two, demand for a new norm will continue. That we see it over and over again. We're all just bumping our heads up against the wall with things that are not working. So people are finally embracing that the old way is not working. So now there's actually a demand for and people embracing a new norm, and that's going to continue. Number three, ownership of project delivery by the business units will increase. In the past, we've seen where corporations or companies would allow people who are delivering the project to them to take ownership, and we're seeing that companies are actually taking that back. So the shareholders, the stakeholders in projects, business units who are funding projects, companies who are funding projects, they're taking ownership back. And they're not just handing that over to whoever they're outsourcing the work to. It's becoming more collaborative and more ownership. And with that, we're seeing number four, request for project management training for non-project managers. We're seeing more businesses, more business units where people do not have project manager roles. They don't have project management training, so they're requesting that. They're trying to learn how do we learn project management? How do we incorporate that even at a simple step? They're looking for a common language between all units of a project. So if it's a business unit, trying to establish a common language through project management best practices so they can speak to any outsourcing partners, vendors, other business units, so that everyone is doing things the same way so they can now get things done. And for the project management community, for all of us on the line here today, you know, applauds. We're so happy to see that. We've been waiting so long, and we finally see it happening. Number 5, the push for promotions and relocations are decreasing. You know, everything's kind of like halt and stay still with moving and relocations. We're doing more with global teams. Companies are trying to find out how do we work globally? How do we work remotely? How do we work in a diversified, globalized workforce? So instead of moving people around and relocating them, they're doing more to train the people, get them diversified. Number 6, investment in leadership development and project management by astute organizations. So not everyone, we're seeing the trend that people are, but the more astute organizations, those who are really aggressive for item number 1, driving market share, new product lines, and business innovations, they are definitely investing more in leadership development and project management. They also are, there's also number 7, need for social and mobile capabilities. It will expand into the enterprise level. Up until now, the past few years, it's been at an individual level. It's dependent upon different individuals. Maybe they're project managers, maybe there are people in the group who are more social or mobile than others. And now at an enterprise level, at the company level, the companies are looking, how do we get our people, how do we get them portable, how do we get them agile? So it's about portability and agility, getting people social and mobile. Number 8, approval for fewer strategic projects will create greater demand. Now companies are really, they're looking at prioritizing their projects, aligning them more for the strategic objectives. Again, that goes back to number 1. They're aligning their projects for number 1, driving market share, new product lines, business innovations, aligning those strategic projects. So we're seeing fewer projects, but those projects that companies are approving are going to have a greater impact on their organization and the marketplace. Number 9, there's a requirement for personal brands. That will continue to be elevated. So people on the call may think, well, what's a personal brand? So for project managers, it's important for you to know what are your strengths. I talk with people every day in the community, interviewing people, and people really do not have a clear understanding of what their strengths are. So when the opportunities do arise, they don't know how to present themselves and what their strengths are, and even to know, is this even a match? Because it becomes disastrous when project managers position themselves for a project, number 1, they don't have the skills for, they don't have the desire to do, they're just desperate looking for a job, so they'll take anything. So it's total disaster because maybe they get accepted on that job and they can't do the job, they're not interested in it, they get burned out, and they're not able to deliver. Companies are looking for people to hit the floor running, get results, know what they're doing, be able to mobilize quickly. And so for all of us, being able to know what are our strengths, you know, I've been there, done that on a lot of things, and there are a lot of things I don't even want to do anymore. So maybe I have the skills, maybe I have the expertise, but it's not interesting to me anymore. So if I were to take those opportunities, I just wouldn't be the best person to do it. I just wouldn't have the passion. I wouldn't have the patience. So it's not fair for me to take that job, and it's not fair for the organization. Number 10, projects will be measured and valued by outcome versus input. For so many years, we've looked at task and what we're doing, the task and activities, and everything that everybody's doing. We have a million resources, so there's a lot of input going into projects, but at times we've seen it all. I mean, that's why the numbers are so high on failed projects, because the outcome is so low. So more and more organizations getting better at measuring. They want the tools in place. They're investing for the tools in place. They're investing for project managers to know how to measure these things, being able to assess and get these things back on track. So projects will be measured and valued by outcome versus input. So it's a lot, right? That's a lot going on coming into the year. So we ask, what are you going to do? What are you going to do differently? So we all are asking ourselves this question. I ask myself this every day. We at projectmanager.com, we've asked ourselves, what are we going to do to change our behavior? What are we going to do to go through and assess what's happening? What skills, if you look from left to right, we question what skills do we need to change the performance required to get things done and get results. So those are the questions we ask. And then where do we start? Again, this concept of portability and agility. We've interviewed executives, we've interviewed team members. They're large participants in the communities. If you are participating, and I hope you are, the social media channels, the LinkedIn groups, if you're involved at all on the LinkedIn discussions, you'll see portability and agility. That's where we start. That's how we change things to begin getting things done. And you're like, well, I think I've been doing that. Well, let's see. Let's see how we can do it even better. For those of you who already are portable and agile, you know, where do we start? What does that really mean? So we feel like to get to the portability and agility, we think of three things. We think of mobilization, we think of socialization, and we think of globalization. So a little play on words of the mobilization. So mobilization, we might think of the mobile devices like the iPhones or the Blackberries or in the iPads or any of the other mobile devices. We may think of that. We're talking about something even more broad, more expansive than that. If you think about, to use the term of a military mobilizes quickly. They have to get their resources on the ground. They have to get the camp set up. They have to get tools in place, get people mobilized. If you think of, I don't want to, you may think that some of your project teams may be like that, but that's just a good example of people may be able to, in a mindset, think of that. But mobilizing quickly. Organizations, the VPs that we talk with, the executives we talk with people really looking for setting up things on their projects, what they're looking to project management to bring to the table, what they're looking for project managers to be able to do is mobilize quickly. What does that mean? That means we got to get set up. We got to come in, get things set up, get things established. We can't spend weeks or months getting a server installed, getting our templates, getting a directory, getting our resources. No, no, no. We've got to come in, and that's got to be like a no-brainer. It's got to be a cookie cutter. Get set up, get the tools and templates set up. That should be done quickly. And for those of you who are working internally, there are ways that you can do that, of setting up tools and templates on your servers. Some of you may say, well, I'm a freelancer, I'm a contractor, or I'm an outsourced resource. So you've got to be thinking about, what do you have to do in order to get your toolkit? If you're asked to come in and mobilize quickly, how are you going to do that? How are you going to get set up? How are you going to bring your tools and templates to put in place and get set up? Socializing intentionally. So socializing intentionally, we believe, and we see more and more, getting connected intentionally. The social channels. LinkedIn is one of the business social media sites. There's Facebook, there's Twitter, there are other social communities more than those. Those are some of the common ones. But intentionally getting connected. I I like to get connected with people in my industry. I research who they are. I Google them. I look up what's their background. Hey, what is their background? You know, what companies have they been in? Have they been in some of the sectors that I've been in? Or how can they, maybe, how can I connect with them and leverage some of the knowledge maybe they have, some of the best practices, and even some of the other networks that they have. So being intentional about that and collaborating, we find more and more every day. I'm finding more and more that I do not know. So I cannot possibly keep up with not only what's happening in the market, what's happening with all the social communities, and then all the technologies that I might have to learn. So I can't learn it all. So I must be connected. The more I'm connected with intentionally with people who can help me out and collaborate, the better off I'm going to be, and the faster I can get my questions answered. Globalize strategically. So getting beyond the borders, diversifying. This is diversifying in different cultures, different age groups, different industries. So diversifying, but doing this strategically. So some people may say, well, I'm in an industry where, you know, globalization really doesn't apply. Well, I think the industries we looked at, it's almost every industry is globalized somewhat. And so maybe it's not for you, not right now, but maybe personally in your profession it may be. So maybe it's not, maybe globalization is not important for your company, but it could be for you professionally and how you're going to grow and continue to grow your profession. So as we look at these, as we look at the portability, agility, as we look at socializing, mobilizing, globalizing, and talking with, again, the individuals, we're talking with companies, executives who are working with us at projectmanager.com to build out our community and our system. People are looking for these three things to best manage their projects. They want to be able to share project plans easily and online. They want to be able to manage their teams online because most people are working remote. Most project managers in a given day are rarely at their desk. So more and more project managers are saying we need to be able to access our project plans and be able to manage our teams online. We need to be able to access systems and track progress real time. That's what people are asking for. So with that, we've studied we've interviewed people, studied best practices, listened to the community, been involved, and a lot of you on the call that I see have been engaged with us, so you've seen what we've been doing. But when we talk about a SOMO-centric high-performance project environment, this is what we mean. We've collected 10 items that make up the SOMO-centric. Again, for those of you just joining the call, SOMO-centric is social mobile, the social mobile-centric high-performance project environment. So by doing this, by establishing this type of environment, it allows you to see your status at a glance. Not only you, but executives who want to see what's going on in my projects, or your stakeholders or shareholders, they all can at a glance, and your team members too, get a glance what's happening. You can create and share your plans online. Again, people can access different pieces of the plan online, the pieces that they need to see. Of course, the age-old thing that the executives need to see something different than the project team level. We're able to do that now. So number 3, manage your team's workload. So it's important to manage the team's workload. So many times projects do not get done because priorities begin overlapping. People keep reprioritizing not only the projects but the team members. So if there's no way to track the teams and their actual workload, if we've gone in and looked at different plans, and you can look at your own and see, wow, you know, there's no wonder Jennifer can't get anything done. She's overloaded. You know, we're supposed to plan for, say, a 40-hour work week, and we've got her planned for consistently 120-hour work week and overlapping high priority projects. So we've all been there, we've all done that, we're all doing it now. So we are looking for the SOMO-centric high-performance environment to be able to manage your team's workload so that they're really assigned what they're actually realistically able to do. Report on project success. It's important to report on project success online in real time. And that, by that we mean not only just the project in total, but the different components at the activity level, the milestone level, and be able to see, did we succeed? Are we off track? Are we on track? What I love is number 5, create your personal dashboard. We've all seen a million dashboards, a million status reports where we see the whole thing. And for some of the projects that you all are working on, you know, these are multi-year projects. You may have 200, 300 people on these projects. The budgets could span a couple $100 million. To look at a dashboard of a full project is just way too overwhelming. I only want to see my personal dashboard. I want to be able to customize it. I want to be able to look at it and see what do I need to be doing today so that I can get those things done. Tracking your time. We've all seen different tools, different project management tools have been implemented. Some have been not implemented at all. So some people are not tracking their time at all, and then some may be tracking their time in a really convoluted system that's really tailored for other purposes, maybe financial management, maybe contract administration, but it's not really designed for you to track your time towards a project. So that makes it difficult. So a SOMO-centric high-performance project environment allows you to track your time to the activities and to the tasks you're doing for specific projects. Monitoring your expenses. This is, as project managers know, this is kind of the phrase of the devil's in the details. So as project managers, as we are responsible for the bottom line budgets, and so at the end of the project we think we're on track, but we're not, because we're not tracking everything. Maybe we're tracking time by the people working on our projects, or maybe we're only tracking the assets, maybe equipment or maybe some other things, but we are overlooking the expenditures. So as you have project teams maybe traveling, maybe they're having meetings, maybe they're having to purchase other things, other expenses in relation to the project, but you never know until at the end when everybody submits their expenses, and now you find yourself way over budget. This is definitely devil's in the details. This is where most projects miss their budgets. They're not tracking at the expense level. Number 8, collaborating with your peers. More and more, what I love about the SOMO-centric environment, you probably, if you guys are engaged in projectmanager.com and some of the other social channels, you'll see I'm very active. I love it because I get to collaborate with people literally all over the world. I get to ask questions. I get to see what other people are struggling with. I don't know about you, but I think it's true, at least for me. It's like, wow, they're having that problem too. So it's not just me, because at times I think it's just me that's crazy that I'm the only one struggling with this problem. So number one, it makes me feel better that I'm not the only one. Then for those people struggling with the same issues, we get to leverage people who have found solutions way better than I could even imagine. And so it's very powerful. So collaborating with your peers doesn't mean just on your team. It doesn't mean just if you're in a cubicle environment or at a company, wherever you are. It doesn't mean just your immediate peers. It means your global, worldwide peers, or project managers everywhere. On this call, there are thousands of people from literally all over the world. It allows you to share your documents. How many times have we searched our emails, spent hours? I mean, sometimes I can spend hours searching my email messages, looking for a document, only to learn that maybe the one I updated was an incorrect version, or maybe it got out of sync because people are updating the incorrect version and they're sending it around, and maybe for me, a lot of times with documents with attachments, it gets hung in my spam folder. So that is a nightmare. Just by being able to share my documents in one common repository that people can access online, saves so much time. And I think number 10 is one of the more powerful ones. It's easy and it's simple. I'm more and more every day trying to simplify my life in how I do things. I'm simplifying my technology. I'm simplifying how I approach things. It just can't be complex. I guess the older I get, I just can't do too many complex things. So I like simple and easy. And you know what? So do not only the project managers we communicate with in the projectmanager.com community, but also the executives. I mean, people want things simple. That's how we get things done. So what does this new norm for project managers look like? So we started the call by saying we all agree in, we embrace, and we see, we're excited about the new norm for project managers. So what does that mean, and what does it look like? There are 8 things, 8 components. So number 1, becoming an object of interest and creating pull. Again, for project managers, every day you'll see everywhere people are looking for, how do I get that job? How do I get promoted? How do I get the most interesting projects? My peer over here keeps getting all the interesting work. How do they do that? So we believe by becoming an object of interest, really getting out, exploring, being part of new initiatives. It doesn't have to be just in your company. You can get involved in different projects. There's so many relief efforts with some of the natural disasters. You'll see more and more project managers taking a lead on some of the disaster relief efforts. And project management is making a big statement in some of these things by being able to go in, mobilize, get project managers, get tools, templates set up. You can use your skills there. So that can supplement what you're doing maybe in your company life. Maybe you're on a project that you don't find as of interest anymore. By adding to and getting involved in some of these other things. Again, always learning new technologies every day. There's something new. So find one that you really love. I mean, I never dreamed that I would be a lover of social media and mobile media like I am. I love it, and I've embraced it. I learn. I'm like a sponge. I try to learn as much about it as I can. I try to implement it. I try to help others implement it. So by being an object of interest, you're actually creating pull for others to come towards you. You're least likely to have to go outward to find jobs. People will begin seeking you out for the knowledge that you have and the things that you've done. Number 2, build your own brand. We've talked about that by distinguishing yourself. Building a brand, letting people know specifically what it is you like to do. So for me, again, I do a lot with the social media, the mobile marketing. I do a lot around project management mastery. So pick your areas, grow them, develop them. You know, let the old ones go, the old ones that you're no longer interested in, that aren't really useful anymore. Let them go. Develop new, and create your brand so people know what you stand for. Number 3, develop business relationships, both online and offline. We can't get away from building relationships. It's so important. It doesn't matter if you're introvert or an extrovert. There's still ways that both introverts and extroverts can build business relationships. For project managers, we know that that's one of the most critical things that we can have in our toolkit to get things done, is building our business relationships. And we submit that you do it online and offline. So for the introverts, I know I have some great peers who are introverts, and I love them just the same, and they find ways to build relationships online. So for them, offline is to go out to an event, to get involved in some of the some of the project management communities or some of those things are a little, is like a stretch for them. But once they do it, they feel like they say, okay, it didn't kill me. And so for those of us who are more of the extroverts, you know, online is good too. Like, how do I begin building relationships online? If I can't see somebody face to face, which a lot of people that I can't, most of you I've talked, a lot of you on the call today I've talked with or I've collaborated with online. I've never seen you or met you. So it can be done, and it's very critical. That's how we get things done. Number 4, provide value and pay it forward. Again, we're all learning. We're all learning new now. So it's a new norm. So we're learning. Pick those things that you love to do and provide value to other people, meaning give others, learn something and teach others. Number 1, it helps us to learn it even better, and we're giving back to our community. We're giving back to the community of project managers. We're giving back to our teams, our organizations. It's called paying it forward. And over again, I see this coming back. It's true that whatever you pay forward comes back multifold. It comes back to you in the more you provide value to others and pay it forward to others, it's always going to come back for good for you. Learn new skills. I mean, we're all trying to figure out how do we do things new. So it's like figuring out which things that resonate with you. And master yourself. Through this time, it's, you know, a lot of times things can get, our self-confidence can be impacted, our skills, we have doubts, like if what we knew in the past is not working anymore, then we can doubt ourselves or it can impact our self-confidence. No, that just means that those were new things we learned in the past and they worked in the past and they don't work now. So it's just about learning new things, learning more about yourself, about what makes you tick, what is your passion, what do you want to learn and grow forward in yourself. I love the statistic of mastery. I think there's the stat that says it takes over 10,000 hours of study and practice to become a master. So those people in masters that you think of, like professional sports people, people who've really mastered a skill, they didn't do it overnight, and they're just not the luck of the draw or just happen to be so lucky. No, they've mastered it. They practice it. They study it. They do it. They mess up. They fail. They get back and do it again. So it's about mastering yourself and what you're good at. The 7th one is engage and collaborate with others. Again, that's the new norm. It's engaging and involving other people for better solutions. I love this because every time I see that when I collaborate with others, it's just I get much better product or solution than I could ever even think of on my own, and it's fun. And number 8, the new norm is get things done. Over the past few years, we've all been involved with this. We've all been on projects. We've been in organizations where things just can't get done. There's so much bureaucracy. There's so much fear. There's so much resistance. There's so much chaos and calamity. Things just aren't getting done. So the new norm for project managers is get things done. So what holds you back? In talking with people in the community, and as you can see, the projectmanager.com is well over, 500,000 people. A huge community to pull from. And when we're talking, we see constantly what people say holds them back. Well, they say, we don't know where to start. They say they don't have access to tools and templates, their organization, or maybe they're new to project management and they don't even know where to start, so they don't even know what a tool or template is or looks like, so they have nothing to draw from. They do not have the skills yet. So maybe, again, they're new. Maybe they're in an organization that hasn't invested in training, so they don't feel like they have the skills. So they're like, well, I want to do more, but I don't know how. I don't have the skills yet. They say they do not have the belief that they can learn it. It's easy. It's so easy to get overwhelmed. It really is. Things are changing so much, so fast. We don't know which way to turn, and it's now, especially with the internet age where we can Google everything, even if you are trying to go out and learn as much as you can, it's easy to get overwhelmed. And then we think, oh my gosh, there's no way I can ever learn all of this. I'll never be able to do this. And so we think you can. It's just bit by bit, piece by piece, step by step, a little bit at a time. And after all, that's the principle of project management anyway. It's step by step. Some people say what holds them back is they don't have organizational support. They say their organization doesn't support project management. Maybe they don't support social media. Maybe they don't support mobile media. Well, you know, that's true, but we've got to look for workarounds, because what if you find yourself not working for that organization anymore? So maybe you're trying to go to an organization that does. Well, you're out of luck unless you are on the sidebar trying to keep your skills up to date. The other is people say, I just don't have the desire. Some people are like, I have been there, done that. All these changes, this whole economy, this whole everything has worn me out. I don't even have the desire to do that anymore. And you know what? We probably all on this call can relate to that. And it's a decision you've got to make. You know, sometimes it's great just to take a break. Take a break, take a breather. I think we've all probably over our tenure of working have taken some break. It can be as big or small as you need, but something to re-energize yourself, revitalize yourself in order to take a look at, do I even really want to do this anymore? And it could be, the answer could be no. And I've got, you know, a lot of peers who have made that decision, and they've taken alternative routes. And again, this new norm and new innovation, they've been able to do highly creative things, things that they love, things that they've wanted to do all their lives. So this is the time. If you don't have the desire to do all this, then now is the time to be innovative, creative, and find something else. If you find you're still drawn to this, then again, revitalize, take a break, re-energize yourself, and then when you feel like it, get back in, decide which direction you want to go. It's changing. So where can I start? Again, back in the very beginning of this presentation on the agenda, we said, where do we start? So in the beginning we asked, where do we start? So at projectmanager.com, this is where we started. Well, we took 5 huge steps. So we're gonna suggest to you a simple step, but we went ahead, we went hook, line, and sinker, took 5 huge steps. This is what we did. We, after all this talk, after being involved with the community, you guys out there, the guys in the people in the projectmanager.com community, project management community, people we're working with, as we mapped out the project management trends, we said, look, we've got to align with these. So we took the steps to align what we were doing, our tools, our templates, our training, our software, everything we're doing. We went to a huge effort. And those of you who are looking at that on a personal level, you can imagine from a company-wide what that's like. So we said we're aligning. We took the commitment. We're aligning with the new project management trends. We put this together. We're like, what does this mean? How do we provide a roadmap? People are asking, how do I get from A to B? So we put together a roadmap for people. It's like as we're pioneering through it, we're sharing. We're trying to give back. We're trying to add value-added content and tools and techniques to get there. So we're providing a roadmap. We created our own SOMO-centric project management environment. Again, with projectmanager.com, you've seen again, people on the call I've been interacting with already. You've seen a lot of things that we're doing. We're collaborating with you and taking your comments seriously. And so we've created our own SOMO-centric project management environment. We believe we've adopted the new norms. We're not there completely, but we're learning. We're learning, and we're excited, and we're learning from our community. And likewise, I think we're giving back. And so number 5, we built a community, and the community we've been able to share a lot with, and vice versa. So we invite you to join us. So you may ask, where can I start? So where do I start? This is where you can start. Take one simple step. Just one simple step. All you have to do is join us. People on the call I know are already in the projectmanager.com community, so thank you. It's been fun collaborating with you. And once you join us and you take advantage of the things we have, you gain access to these 5 things that I think are really cool. Training videos and webinars. We're constantly doing training videos and webinars, not only for people who have been seasoned and around a while, but people just learning. They're learning what is it to be a project manager? What are some tips and techniques? So we're trying to do that real time, the new and updated things that we're learning. We're trying to get that out to the community. Tools and techniques. Again, these are things that are tried and true. These are things that, as you see on projectmanager.com, you'll see NASA, Boeing, some of the really large corporate clients. These are things that they're using. These are things that work. They're best practice. They're leveraging best practices, and they're things that you can implement quickly. So when we're talking about mobilizing quickly, then all you have to do is take these tools and techniques. Again, those in the community are providing feedback and input into these, so we're refining them all along for different things as people are out there seeing things that work better, incorporating those. The community who can discuss ideas. I've had a blast communicating with and being in the discussions with people. We're solving real-time issues out there. If you go take a look, people are asking all kinds of questions about their projects. How to handle risk, how to get projects on track. I'm having problems with this type of person. How do you resolve conflict? How do I implement these technologies? How do I, gain access to this job? Or I'm interviewing for this. What are the recommended things I can do now as I'm interviewing for jobs in a new way? A lot of people in our community haven't interviewed for jobs in years. So it's kind of like if you have to start dating again, where do I start? So this is a place where people are asking candid questions. They're being very open, candid, vulnerable to what's going on. Value-added content. It's all about value-added content. We all see so much. We don't want just, fluffy stuff out there. Real value-added content, things that are working. What are the best practices? What are things that people are leveraging to get things done? How do they get ahead? What are things that they're using to promote their brand, or what are they seeing that works better for them? And then an online software. Again, we started this whole thing by people saying we are striving to be portable and agile. We're trying to socialize, mobilize, and globalize quickly. This online software can provide you that. So with these 5 things, we feel like it provides you a way, gives you access to 5 things that allows you to socialize, mobilize, globalize, and get portable and agile. So many of you ask where and how. These questions come in. These are some of the questions coming in on the sidebar panel already. So people are saying, well, how do I get access? So again, projectmanager.com, it's literally as it sounds. Projectmanager.com is a website, and if you go there, you'll see how we've taken this information that we've compiled and pulled together, and we've implemented the best way to manage your project. So when you go there, you'll see your dashboard, your project planner, intelligent reporting, how to manage team, track results, and collaborate online. And it's really simple. One thing that we've got offering right now, a $25 value for free, is to start a free trial. Get in there and poke around. Again, I'm shocked that the number of people that we deal with, not only in large corporations, but again, the freelancers, the contractors, the people who are in consultancies who do not have access for the tools and techniques or something that they can access online. Because remember, executives, companies are asking for project managers to be able to mobilize quickly. That means put the tools and techniques in place, get documents, get processes, get procedures, get your team in place quickly. not this weeks and months anymore. It's just when they bring project managers in, they're looking for this. So how do I do that? So if you go to the website, there's a thing where you can start a free trial. You just click on Start Free Trial. It comes up with this screen, and all you have to do is enter your name. It will ask you for your credit card, but it doesn't charge you because you get the first free month free, but that's the way all, if you're familiar with e-commerce systems and doing these things, it doesn't charge you. But it will require that you put this credit card in and just see how you like it. Take advantage of the information that you get there. See what tools and templates look like. See what a SOMO-centric online environment looks like. I'm going to see here. I'm going to take a moment, kind of wrapping up. We've got 10 minutes left. One thing I'd like to do and offer, I'm going to stay a few minutes after the call and show, we get so many questions. We've already gotten a lot of questions on the side panel about seeing a little bit about it, being mindful of the people on the call, that you may not have the time to see this, but for those of you, I'll spend a few minutes after this just to show you. We believe in showing and seeing, as you know, on your teams. A picture is worth 1,000 words, and we believe saves 1,000 meetings in project management. So what we found is in working with people in the community is to show them. So I'm going to show you some of the screens. Again, for those of you on projectmanager.com, you can look at some of the things. I'm going to take a few questions, so bear with me here. Again, for those of you earlier on the call, we mentioned this presentation is recorded. It takes about a 24-hour post-production process to get it uploaded into YouTube, and you'll be able to find it on YouTube. Thank you. Michelle is excited about the first webinar, so thank you for joining us. I hope you'll join us again. Let's see. Okay, we've got a lot of questions here. I'm trying to, there's so many about, is it going to be recorded? Yes, it's recorded. There's a question about PDUs here. This could be considered a self-directed webinar, so you can claim this as a category C, as self-directed. Again, it's hosted and presented by projectmanager.com. So that would be the providers. For those project managers who are looking for PDUs, that is a question. Let's see. Someone's asking if you can use 2 accounts. We recommend you use one because the whole idea of projectmanager.com, again, projectmanager.com has multiple resources. It has training, it has online software. So the idea is to have one account. So as you share, if you think about that, you're building your repository and you're adding documents there for you to use on your project going forward. A lot of the questions, I'm looking through a lot of the questions. Most of these I'm going to be, if you hold that thought, for those of you who want to see how this works, I'm going to answer that after. So just with a few minutes left, I want to wrap up this call about what we talked about. You're going to see some screens, and I'm going to come back to these and show you a little more about this. But today's webinar, again, we presented the top project management trends for 2012. Again, there you can access these by we'll have the slides posted, and we'll have this presentation on YouTube. But again, we've done a lot of research with this community and on what we feel like the trends are, provided a roadmap, showed the importance of the SOMO-centric high-performance project environments and what that means, the new norm and what's holding you back, and a next step. So again, I want to thank you for joining us. I hope you'll continue next week. We'll be hosting these monthly, and we'll be taking different aspects of projects. Again, we get a lot of information, a lot of questions from the projectmanager.com community, some of our LinkedIn groups, we'll take questions that you've posted on the side panel today and continue answering those questions and trying to be a resource for you in establishing processes and procedures for the new norm, helping you as a project manager, refining your brand, helping you get prepared for jobs and job interviews and what people are looking for today, and helping you determine what your strengths are, what you're best at doing, and helping you get socialized, mobilized, globalized, helping you become more portable and agile for your project teams. So again, I'm going to stay a few minutes later. I want to thank you. We've got about 5 minutes left for those of you who are on the call. Thank you for joining us, and appreciate your comments and your feedback. And we'll hope to see you next month. Okay, at this time I'm going to begin taking some calls. Thank you. We've got lots of questions here. So the question is, this is a great question. My question today is, just want to know, the project management for 2012 is specific to the software industry? No. These are trends that we've tracked across multiple industries. Again, we have a cross-section of a community that we have is over 500,000 people across all industries, all types of industries in countries all over the world. So we've compiled feedback, we've talked to people in the community, we've held discussion groups, we've done interviews with people, again, all over the world, internationally, across all industry sectors. So these are project management trends that we're seeing for all project management, not just the software industries. Thank you for asking that question, because it's for everyone. Let's see, a lot about PDUs and requirements. Okay, a lot of you are asking questions about how to get the, looks like, okay, bear with me, I'm still here. I'm just scanning all the questions on the side panel. As you can imagine, it's a lot. So in looking at the questions, there are a lot of questions about this, so let's take a moment. I want to show you something that we feel like is important, because projectmanager.com has taken a lot of time. When we go back to the first, where we say we took 5 huge steps, again, taking the project management trends, providing a roadmap, but look at number 3, created a SOMOS-centric project management environment. I'm going to click on this. So let's align, it's going to come up an internet browser, and it's going to see, we tried to map this thing side by side so you could see the trends, what people were asking for. If you remember the components of the SOMOS-centric items, this is what we've developed in the system, what makes it so nice for the people who have worked with us to develop this. So you see your status at a glance. So if you look at this screen here, you can see all the reports. I don't know about you, but I'm very visual, so I love reports. I love colored reports, and I'm not necessarily, when we talk about strengths and weaknesses, I'm not the one who likes to put all this data together. But the beautiful thing about this tool is you get your projects in here and get the data in here, and the system does all the work. So all I have to do is push a couple of buttons, and I have these status reports available not only for myself, but my team and my executives. And the beauty of it is we've got an app for that. So you can look at these things mobile or online, or even if you're like myself, I travel a lot, so I'm out of the office. You get to create and share your plans online. So this is very common for most people. If you look here at the next screen of the schedule here, you can see people, you've got resources assigned and what milestones are due and what tasks are due. Then you can manage your work team load. This is very important. More and more we're seeing people love this, because I don't think we realize how we overload people or overload ourselves and overcommit ourselves to tasks and activities that there's no possible way we can do, because in truth, you know, we work 40 hours a week. Of those 40 hours, we're not productive all 40 hours. So each company generally has a formula of the productive hours per company, and you use those. So this gives people more of an idea of how they're overloading their resources. Project status reports. So reports on project status. You love this because at a glance you can see the items that are important now. You can see what was the plan start, what was the plan finish, what's the effort, actual, the completed time, and who's assigned. Up at the top you can see whether it's under budget, behind. For this specific status report, it's under budget, it's behind schedule, and under allocated. So this helps you decipher. So a lot of times if you're in a meeting and they want the specifics, it's great to have this detailed information here at the task WBS level. But also if you're trying to speak about it quickly, it's great to have the summary at the top. Your personal dashboard, this is what I love because I only want to see my things. You know, as a project manager, I have to take a glance at the whole project, but at times I want to see the task that I've got on board on docket that day, so I can prioritize my own task, my own project. So I love this, being able to customize my own dashboard, track my time. Here is great because with multiple projects, if you know, being able to do it real time and on time, being able to allocate time, I get to see where I'm allocating my time. But again, this is the information. Remember, the devil's in the details. If people aren't tracking their time, and the next one, they're monitoring their expenses, we're dead in the water at the end of the project, because you don't know until everybody decides, oh, well, now that my project is ending and my tasks are kind of tailoring off, I'm going to go back and put my time in, or now that things have slowed down, I'm going to file my expense reports. It's a killer. So this way, it's easy to do them as you go along. You as a project manager know what things are going on in your project, so you can ask people, you know, hey, I noticed that we incurred some expenses, but I don't see the expense reports yet. So you can ask people to go in. They have an easy way to do it. You can collaborate with your peers. I love this. It's easy to start discussions. You can literally have people all over the world inputting. They can edit. They can attach documents. If you look here, you can attach files, get people to comment. You can share your documents. Here are different documents. It has version control. And if you look on the side, the folders. So when we talk about mobilizing quickly, this is what we mean. This is what your companies are asking for. This is what the executives are asking for. And gosh, me as a project manager, I like things easy. I like cookie cutter. So this is what I love to be able to go replicate. If I have my file structure in place, if I have tools and templates, I can just easily replicate my templates to my new project, and that takes a matter of moments. And what I love even more, it's easy to use. And simply, you just sign up here. You can click, and all you have to do is fill out this here, your free trial, your name, your account number, and then you start the trial, and you have your login and your password. There were a couple other items here. Again, the new norms, if I go back here, just mapping what we've done to the new norms is, again, things that people constantly ask for, not only you in the community, but also people we're working with and tracking the new norms. So we have put together the project dashboard, the planner, time tracking. All of these things are available, and this is what people are asking for. In addition to that, we have training videos. A lot of people new to project management have questions on what is a project dashboard, what should be in there, how do I plan a project, how do I track my time. So all of those are available through the website. So those are some things that we wanted to share with you that people ask us, like, where do I start? How do I do it? It's just, that's where, projectmanager.com, and just click. So you get, once you get your login, you create your free account. It's easy. We try to make it easy to create So here's showing, now that I'm in here, it welcomes me and it says, hey, to get started, there's 3 simple steps to start your first project. So I can create a project. I can invite users. So if you just want to play around, create a, I know for myself, I work with some nonprofit type events. I work with some of the PMI chapters. I work with different groups. So, you can create a project and invite other people. And then again, we have tutorials on how to do all of this, so you'll know. Then this is what it looks like, my task. This is a bigger screenshot of what my task looked like and what complete. So on some of the things where you're tracking as a project manager, not only other people's tasks, but this is specific my task. This is again a closer shot of the schedule. This, as you see at the top, we've got tasks we've embedded into the calendar, and here's where the discussions groups, it's probably, the discussions is one of the most, that's the SOMO aspect, the social, where people get involved and really collaborate. And the expenses and risk. The issues, people love the red, yellow, and green in a lot of organizations, so we've incorporated that. Changes, how to track changes and get additional information. And furthermore, there again, this is adding expenses. This is what a snapshot looks like of your dashboard. These are different reports. This is the health check. Am I on the far left-hand corner up under the main bar, you'll see health. So what's the health of my project? Is it on time? What's the time, cost, resources? Are there risk, issues, changes? So here it's green for time, cost, and resources. I'm ahead of schedule, under budget, and under allocated. But there are some yellow things. I do have some risk and some issues and changes. And then you can see the time, what's the plan versus actual, the cost. I can see more of have an idea on the cost. Some of the progress reports, tasks, and resources. Here's what the calendar looks like. I use this a lot because I'm always in meetings constantly and I'm always on the go. So I have my mobile device with me and I can pull up my calendar and see not only what meetings I have, but also what tasks or milestones I have. So this helps me be on the go all day, every day, very quickly. Again, this is the workload. This is important. Look, this is what it looks like on the workload by days. And if you see, these are 8 hours a day. So if you begin seeing 20 hours a day, 40 hours a day, then we've got some trouble. So again, this is just a snapshot. We believe strongly in the trends for project management going into 2012. We believe, we see, we're embracing and adopting the new norm. We're trying to share that, everything we know with you. We're leveraging information both ways because we feel like we're collaborating constantly with you in the community, and we're just trying to build the best way to manage your projects and organize your work, share your project plans, manage your teams online, and track progress daily. Hope you'll join the free trial, and if you do, you're welcome to contact support with any questions and access the website for any training supplemental for that. And again, we appreciate you joining us for looking at our agenda of project management trends, our roadmap, the SOMO-centric high-performance project environment, the new norm, and what's next. So thank you